Hey everyone, I'm Kevin Bartlett.
And I'm Kristine Strauss, and this is The Real Deal with Baird & Warner, where we cover all things real estate.
For buyers, sellers, renters, investors, and fellow agents. So before we get into today's episode, the last episode of the year, let's take a quick look at this past weekend's market activity, and remember to stay tuned to the end of the episode to see what's going on in the wonderful world of mortgage. So on the listing side, we saw another drop. From what was already an all-time low, so now we have a new all-time low.
Right.
A trend that we don't like seeing. At this point, I'm not sure if that's going to change in this last couple weeks of this year.
Right.
So hopefully next year we'll see that number start picking up pretty quickly.
Absolutely. And kind of mimicking that, we saw the buyer count, the buyer side with that activity drop as well, which again, like Kevin was saying, this time of year we've got holidays and a lot of things going on. So something that we see sometimes happen, we were of course hoping that would come up a little bit, some of those last minute searches going on, but the buyer activity was down again this weekend.
Hopefully next year will bring better things.
Exactly, right?
All right, so today Kristine and I are going to be taking a look at the crazy year that was 2021.
Yes.
It was an interesting year in the world of real estate. We saw some things we've never seen before.
Yep.
Faced a lot of challenges, both agents and people trying to buy and sell as well.
Right.
And then at the end of the episode, we'll give our predictions for 2022 and see what that will bring.
Absolutely. So, here, of course, we're the Baird & Warner Naperville office, so we thought it would be appropriate to share just kind of a general Naperville market outlook from what we saw year to date this past year in 2021. So just some fun stats to go over. So the average list to sale price, and again, this is Naperville as a whole, was 99%. So sellers were getting 99% of that list price to sale price. A lot of sellers we saw even going above that.
Yeah.
Of course, there were some, and I think depending on what time of year they were coming on, condition, all of that factors in. Of course, we're a little below. So again, that average was 99%. The average market time was 41 days, which again, that was a huge decrease from what we had typically seen. So nice to see things moving pretty quickly there. And then the average price per square foot was right around $200 per square foot. So again, as a whole, just looking at the averages for Naperville, just some fun information to share. With that being said too, kind of talking about the market activity, the listings were just at an all-time low. So seeing that low inventory, that is a challenge that we have not faced in a while, or maybe even ever. It's definitely, maybe years ago we saw that, but in the recent markets that we've been seeing, it was absolutely very low. So lots of challenges out there, even for buyers looking to find a home.
Absolutely. We also saw some of the usual seasonality that we see was a little bit different this year.
Right.
We kind of saw that hot spring market trickle into the summer.
Yeah.
The summer was almost like a spring market, and the fall stretched all the way kind of into October-ish, and just kind of recently started slowing down. We were still seeing multiple offers way above list price happening into the fall, and typically we see that start to slow down kind of towards the end of August when school starts. So
absolutely,
the market was all over the place this year, making it hard to predict for everybody.
It absolutely was, and even with that too, Kevin, I don't know about you, but I've still been seeing listings coming on even as of yesterday. Sellers putting their homes on the market, feeling very confident that they will. And they are getting the activity. They are still moving fairly quickly. So you're right, this market is definitely different from what we've seen historically in the past.
Absolutely.
Good. And so with that too, we kind of came off of this whole COVID year from last year, which that threw everyone for a loop too. I think everyone ended up adjusting very well. So as we headed into this year with coming off of that, I think both as agents, sellers, buyers, everyone all around did a great job at just really embracing kind of that new normal, if you will, that phrase that we love to use, with wearing masks, being very respectful in the home, sanitizing, all of that. And that just kind of became second nature to a lot of people. So I think we saw a lot more buyers getting out there, feeling comfortable looking at homes. And even though the inventory was low, we saw some sellers coming back into the market who now felt a lot more comfortable knowing that those things could be put in place to protect them and their home, so they could make a move and get on with their life in the next chapter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the next chapter, let's see what we think of 2022 and what's in store. So, in my opinion, from kind of what I've been hearing, interest rates are probably going to be on the rise. So it might make things a little more challenging for buyers.
Right.
And I kind of think the home appreciation might slow down a little bit.
Okay.
We saw some crazy appreciation for homes that didn't even do any upgrades, that saw a substantial increase in value without doing anything.
Yep.
I think that'll probably slow down a little bit.
Okay.
So hopefully that'll help the buyers out with those interest rates going up.
Sure.
So home values are not going out the roof. I am hoping that we see some more inventory.
Yes,
I think come spring we should start to see that as well.
Right.
And final prediction is that Kristine is going to be an amazing mother.
Oh.
I don't know if we've mentioned that on the show yet, but it's coming soon.
Yeah, our little guy, he will be here on February 5th or around then. So, yes, it'll be fun. We'll keep all of our listeners and viewers posted on how that goes. Maybe he'll make a special appearance.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
You heard it here.
Right.
She just said it.
Yeah, our first guest of 2022. So with that too, my predictions I think are fairly similar to yours, Kevin. I think, we've heard a lot of talk, both on the sell side, buy side, people wondering if this was just a big bubble that we were in. Are we going to see a huge decline with pricing and, talk of foreclosures and all of that? And quite honestly, I don't think that that's where we're headed. Kevin, I really agree with you. I think that we might start to see some of that appreciation level off or slow a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see any drastic drops. I think the market is still going to stay fairly strong, and I do hope that we get more inventory as well. I think there are a lot of buyers who had to come up with an alternate option this year, whether they moved in with family, extended their lease for another year, whatever it was. So I think we still have a lot of that, pent-up buyer activity, and they're just anxious to get in.
Absolutely.
So sellers, I think you're still going to be totally fine, and you're going to have a lot of buyers who are out there ready to go and move into your
Very
home.
serious buyers,
Yes.
especially they've been waiting for a year now.
Exactly. Yep. So that's what I think we're going to see. In
I
2022.
fully agree. Strong year.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a good one.
All right. So let's go to Chris Patras with Key Mortgage for our weekly mortgage minute.
Hi, it's Chris Patras with Key Mortgage, bringing you the Mortgage Minute. Today I'd like to talk about down payment requirements for obtaining a mortgage. You may feel like you need a 20% down payment and need to save that amount before you're able to purchase a home. Actually, I'm happy to tell you that there are mortgage programs that allow as little as 3% down. There is also down payment assistance that's available, up to $10,000 for those who qualify. So please reach out to your loan officer and see what options might be available for you. Believe it or not, if you have less than 20% down, your interest rate might even be better. Acceptable sources of funds for down payment would be a gift from a relative. And also, one thing you may not realize is you can borrow money against your 401k or your retirement fund and repay yourself. So again, maybe those are sources of gifts or down payments that you haven't thought of, the gifts and borrowing against your own money, but it might put you in a position to buy sooner rather than you thought. Again, thanks for tuning in. This is Chris with Key Mortgage.
We really hope that you enjoyed listening to this whole market review, kind of year in review here. 2021 was definitely a year for the books. So I'm sure we will always remember this year and all of the crazy things that we saw go on in this market.
Crazy is an understatement.
Yeah.
What a year. I am looking forward to see what 2022 brings.
Absolutely.
That is for sure.
Yep.
So thanks again for joining us. I'm Kevin Bartlett.
And I'm Kristine Strauss. Catch us next time to hear about
The Real Deal.